Hi everybody, yeah, welcome once again to another special edition of Real Leadership with KC. Alright, we have been looking at the leadership secret of my number one mentor for a very long time now. We have explored the first secret, which is that when you want to start winning in leadership, you need to realize that successful leadership starts when you begin to make a choice to learn from those who have been around before you. Yeah. Number two secret of my number one mentor is that following well leads to leading well. Following well leads to leading well. The third secret of my number one mentor is that when you want to win in leadership, you need to start out with the end in mind. You need to start out with the end in mind. Number fourth leadership secret of my number one mentor is that to win as a leader, you must have a winning team, or you must build a winning team. And number fifth leadership secret of my number one mentor is going the way before leading the way. You just have to go the way before you lead people to the way, because of course you can't lead people beyond the level you have traveled. And the sixth one is effective communication makes a big difference in leadership. Effective communication makes a big difference in leadership. Okay, the sixth one is actually what we looked at last week, and like I shared with us, my number one mentor understand the fact that for you to win with people, you must know that communication makes the big difference. Yeah. So communicating effectively enables you to win with people. That's one of the secrets my number one mentor understood, and he did a whole lot with it, and he made a very big difference in his leadership. All right. Like I said also, he developed himself in the act of communication. He was exceptional. He was good in communication. And his effectiveness in communication was so good that he can communicate plainly. You can communicate you can communicate in plain languages. You can communicate in proverbs. You can communicate in many ways that enables people to understand what he's trying to communicate. Yeah. The details of this last this last secret is actually in our platform. Just go back to our previous video, especially last week video, you will see it there. So today I want us to start exploring the seventh secret of my number one mentor. The seventh secret of my number one mentor, and that seventh secret is this: action drives progress. Action drives progress. You may need to write it down. Action drives progress. Action drives progress. Okay. My number one mentor understands that it takes action to make progress, and he has so much outstanding success because he was action oriented. Yeah, my number one mentor was action oriented, and that was one of the key things that was driving his success in leadership. So as a leader, I want to say this. You may need to write it down or listen. As a leader, no matter how excellent your inspirational and motivational skill is, if it does not lead to action, no progress will happen. I will say it again. No matter how excellent, how powerful, how exceptional your inspirational and motivational skills are as a leader, if it does not lead to action, no progress will happen. Very important. So developing motivational skills, inspirational skills is okay, but it's not enough. The motivation, the inspiration must lead to action. It is in the action that progress comes. Yeah. If all you do is motivating, inspiring, and no action is taken as a leader, then progress will not happen. But the moment you begin to take action, progress starts. So I'm going to show you 4 ways to engage in action that drive progress. 4 ways to engage in action that drive progress. Number 1, be familiar with your goals. It is one thing to be taking action, and it's another thing to take action that will accomplish the said goals. So you must be familiar with your goals so that you can easily identify when actions are going off course, or when actions are going beyond the boundaries of the goals. So if you want to see action driving your progress, or if you want to be effective in your actions, so that you don't just engage in activities, but action that drives progress, action that makes things to happen, action that make the results to come, So you must be familiar with your goals. So when you are familiar with your goals, you will know the actions that need to be taken for the goals to be accomplished. And it's those actions only that you need to take. That's effective in taking action, being effective. When you take those actions, the result will happen, people will happen, a lot of things will happen, and the goals will be accomplished. So the first way to engage action that will drive progress is be familiar with your goals, because your actions must be goal oriented. Okay. Number 2, be intentional and insist on taking concrete steps with your team. Be intentional and insist on taking concrete steps with your team. Nothing can never be accomplished by doing nothing. You will not. In fact, you cannot accomplish anything by doing nothing. Nothing have ever been accomplished by doing nothing. Absolutely nothing. Nothing have ever been accomplished by doing nothing. So you accomplish things by doing something. So until you begin to do something, until you begin to insist on taking concrete steps with your team, nothing will ever be accomplished. Most times, if you wait for perfect time to take action, you may never have a perfect time. But again, in the other way, if you begin to take action even when the times are not perfect, you begin to make progress. And many a times, in taking those actions, you will end up discovering that at the end of a particular action, the last action must have created a perfect timing for the next action. Let me say it so you can catch it. Now, you don't need to wait for any perfect time. You don't need to wait for any perfect condition. Most times, you just need to take concrete, calculative steps with your team. Concrete, calculative steps with your team, because nothing will ever happen, no progress will ever happen if you are not taking action. But in taking actions, remember that there is not going to be perfect time. And because there's not going to be perfect timing, you need to just be calculative, you need to be smart, and you need to actually insist on taking certain steps towards your goal, towards your objectives. So as you begin to take some of these actions, though the timing may not be perfect, at the end of certain actions you have taken, you will now discover that the end of a particular action now creates a perfect timing for the next action. It does happen. If you are people that are involved in leadership the way people like us do, you understand what I'm saying? Okay. The next thing you need to do to engage in action that drive progress is take small and big steps. Take small and big steps. Some matters may require small steps to be taken. Some matters may require big steps to be taken. But as a leader, you need to constantly be taking both small steps and big steps. Sometimes you need to take combination of the small steps and the big steps, depending on the matter at hand or the issue that is to be handled, or what you are taking action on, or what you are setting action on. So now, you need to give every situation the kind of action it requires. If an action requires a small step, take the small step. If action requires a big step, take the big step. Don't take small step when the action requires big step, and don't take big step when the action requires small step. So, and if action requires combination of small steps, big steps, take both big steps and small steps. As you do, then progress will begin to happen. And the fourth way to engage in action that will bring progress is intentionally use action to create momentum. Intentionally use action to create momentum. So when action produces results, momentum will begin to build up. When action produces results, momentum will begin to build up. So use positive actions to produce the result, and by the time the result is flowing in, or flooding in, or coming in, it will generate momentum, because people are happier when they are getting results from their action. People are motivated when they are getting results from their action. And when people are motivated in the place of taking action, momentum begin to gather up and momentum begin to rise. And the momentum, when the momentum begins to rise, it's an opportunity to be intentional about producing more. Because when momentum is high, everything becomes possible. The impossible become possible. Lazy people become hardworking. The unbelievable can be believed. People will climb the wall without knowing that it was a wall. Yeah, that will happen when momentum comes in. So the way to do it, intentionally use action to create momentum. Momentum is the friend of every leader. Momentum is the friend of every team. So do everything by taking certain action that will create momentum, and you will see the results, of your team going up very, very high. So today, my major focus is to help you understand how to engage in action that will drive progress. Remember, what we are looking at are the 7 secrets of my number one mentor today, that action drives progress. Don't forget, action drives progress. My number one mentor was making a lot of progress because he was action oriented. You too will begin to make progress as a leader consistently if you're action oriented consistently. And the reason why we are bringing this particular subtopic to you today is to help you, to enable you, to motivate you, to inspire you to come to a place where you will be action oriented, just like we have stated the ways you are going to do it. Just go ahead and go through the video again and begin to take these actions as a leader and begin to see your leadership going to the next level. So that's my leadership mentor, my number one mentor secret, and that was one of the things that made the leadership to be so successful. If you do the same, you too will be successful. Thank you so much for being part of today's Leadership with Casey. We appreciate you being part of it, and we want to remind you that as you listen to the video, just go ahead and let somebody get the video and also listen and be blessed the way you are blessed. So thank you for doing that, and remember to be here also if again same day, same time, and same platform. Thank you so much. Bye for now.